Namaste. I'm your friend Rishika Khare and welcome to Calligraphy with Rishika. Today, Vidita Chandra will be joining us as a journalist on board. So please welcome Vidita Chandra.
Hi, Rushika. I am so glad to be talking to you. And I'm glad that for the first time, I'm on this side of the table. Mostly, I'm the one interviewing people. So I am glad that I'll be answering some questions today.
So, टेबल तो रिवर्स हो ही गई है अब स्टार्ट करते हैं पहले सेशन से which is career
Okay.
mode. So the first question is always, what is the profession about?
I am a journalist. I report news. I write about all the new developments, everything that is going on. And since I'm a tech journalist, so I write about what is happening in the world of technology, all the new gadgets that come in, all the new consumer tech that comes in, the cars that come in. So, yeah, moreover, I write news in short.
So, like, what did you study as subjects to prepare for it, and what subject should be studied to prepare for it?
So till 12, you can like do anything. Like I had humanities, I had psychology, history, and geography, and English, Hindi, of course. So you can like do your intermediate with science or mathematics or whatever. And later on, for in graduation, you can opt for BSc in mass communication and journalism, or you can opt for BA. Some universities offer it as a BA degree, and mine was BSc in mass communication, advertising, and journalism. And if one decides later on in life that they want to become a journalist, so they can also like do a normal graduation course and then can opt for MA in mass communication. And you just have to have a degree in mass communication to start working as a journalist, not necessarily any subjects.
So, like, why do you recommend this profession for the upcoming generation, and how do you think it is? How would it evolve in the next 10 years?
So to begin with, I do not recommend this profession until and unless a person is really passionate about being a journalist, becoming a journalist, passionate about writing about issues. Until and unless they are passionate, they should not be a journalist because it is a very demanding profession. And in terms of money, it is not like very giving, but in terms of asking, it is a very demanding profession, so you need to be on your toes in the beginning of your career like all the time, and you need to really work hard when you're starting as a journalist. Eventually later on in some years it gets okay and you don't have to like work that hard, but initially you have to work very hard. So one really has to want to become a journalist to be one, like be a good journalist and sustain in the profession. So it's like that.
And then, like,
And the second part, yeah, in next 10 years. So, journalism is one profession that is going to be there, but since a lot of digital this thing is coming in, and a lot of people now confuse content creators also as journalists. So I don't know how credible it is going to be in next 10 years, but yeah, it's okay. I think journalists are going to be there, news channels are going to be there, newspapers will be there. So yeah, I think all over the same only, if not any better.
and how do you think media censorship will like affect the next decade?
Well, that is a debatable and controversial topic. Censorship is there, and media is known to work in coordination with the government. But the kind of time and the kind of government that we have right now, censorship is like, yeah, it's in full swing. So anything that you're writing, anything that you're posting, any big organization that you're working with, they are all working in association with the government. So yeah, freedom is okay only in the name, I think, when it comes to writing and exposing issues and uh, giving out the right public opinion that there is. So there's a lot of censorship.
So, don't you think that in democracies, one way of the people to participate in decision making is media? And even if that is like, controlled by the government, don't you think that affects democracy?
No. So words are very important, okay? When you're talking, when you're writing, words are very important. Media is not controlled by the government. Media works in association with the government, whichever government it is, right? Right now it is BJP, even when there was Congress, and even in next like 10, 50 years when there will be BJP again, I don't know. Media works in coordination with the government, and that is how the government sustains, and that is how media sustains. So it is how, like, they work hand in hand. So I will not say that media is controlled by the government, but yeah, a lot of agendas and a lot of propagations are like, yeah, in sync with, in tandem with the government. We can say that. And yeah, so you're talking about expressing, people expressing their opinions, right?
Yes.
So the good thing is, the fortunate thing is that we have social media, and everybody gets their due attention on social media. So yes, they can do that, but it, it's not, the state is not very poor right now. So I don't know how you understand it. Like, people don't go to media people and then they express their opinion, and then the media people don't take the same, like, the opinion just as is forward. So there's always a little bit of tweaking here and there, and that I think is going to be there. Everything works according to the agenda in journalism, in media. Agenda of the organization you're working with, agenda of your editor, and agenda of what's going on in terms of TRP, and what's getting viral and what's getting famous that ways.
You mentioned that fortunately, we have social media, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think there will be any time where social media can replace journalism?
No, no, that's not going to happen. No matter what people say, that's never going to happen, because social media can never take place of print magazines or newspapers that we have. Social media can never replace that. And content creators are not journalists, even when there are a lot of channels that are reporting all the incidences that are going on and giving out opinions. But to be a journalist, you have to work with some big publication that is like a media house or a newspaper house. Only then you're a journalist. You can't like be like a independent journalist and call yourself like an organization or a publication. You can always express your opinion and call yourself a journalist and tell people that you're bringing out the truth, you're exposing this, that. But that's only a part of it. It can never fully replace the old school signature journalism journalists that there are.
And what do you think in the next decade the interference of AI will be in the media circuit of India?
Well, AI is everywhere, so I'm sure AI will not be able to go out and report news incidences. So AI, yeah, AI is there. People take help of AI to write news, but I don't think that AI can go out and report. So in that matter, I think people will always be required to go collect the data, collect the development, and then maybe AI can be used to churn it out, to churn the information into a news piece, but not more than that.
So that's the end of the first session. With
Oh,
so
already?
no, we have a second session, don't worry. So without wasting any time, as we both excited for the second session, this is where past and present all comes together. Welcome my journey of me. So in this session, we talk about your career path. So when did this career path took shape? When did it start?
I think I was in class 6, and the first thing that made an appeal to me was this term journalist. I was just so fascinated by this term journalist. At that time, I did not even probably know the meaning of being a journalist and what journalists are supposed to do and all that. So yeah, but it was a very early thought, and it just crossed my mind. And then a few years later, I wanted to be an air hostess, and then I wanted to do something in hotel management. But it all boiled down to me. I also wanted to become a lawyer in the course, but it all boiled down to me opting for a journalism course after my 12th. So that is how I started my BSc in mass communication, advertising, and journalism. And then later on, I worked hard, got a job, became a journalist. I am a journalist now. So, yeah.
So when did you start preparing for the course or like the exam? And
So it is not very difficult. Okay. It's just basic general knowledge and some language tests. And it was it. I did not require a lot of preparation, to be honest, to get into the course. And that's it. I had one entrance exam, but it was like very basic, nothing very lengthy or difficult for that matter.
so was this your dream when you were 10 years old? And if not, how did it change? So you mentioned a lot of, you wanting to be this.
Yeah, I wanted to be a journalist. And so initially, in the initial phase, I was very fascinated with the news channel, becoming a journalist in some like nice news channel. But eventually, it changed in a sense that I started liking print over news channels more because I think any news in print stays, and it's print is like print keeps the piece alive always. And once anything goes into print, it's never to be destroyed, right? So that was like a very small change that I experienced, like from television to print. Actually, my first job was with print only, but at that time, I used to dream about working in a news channel, facing the camera and reading out the bulletins. But when I reached that stage and when I was working with Z and I was facing camera every day, I realized that, this is not as powerful as what goes into print because television is quite fickle. A news report is there one day, another the next day it's gone, or maybe it can be taken down. But once anything goes into a newspaper or a magazine, for that matter, it cannot be taken down. Nobody has that power to take it down. So I realized that print is what is forever, and that is how I realized that I want to be a print journalist. So after working in television for like 1 year, I shifted back to Hindustan Times, and that is when the shift happened. And since then, I've been working with print only. I was in Hindustan Times, then I took up this magazine, and now it has been 3 years I'm working for this magazine. My articles goes into print. My articles all go into print.
It's
Yes.
what, so you mentioned you were a reporter and then you also were a journalist, right?
So reporter is journalist only. Okay, a journalist is like a broader term. Okay, reporter is one part of the profession. Okay, a reporter reports. Desk people edit what the reporter reports, and the news that reporter files in. The desk people edit that, and then the desk people are also supposed to make the pages and the layout. So they are all part of the editorials. So anybody who's working in editorial is like a journalist. Okay, you can be a reporter, you can be a page maker, you can be like a desk editor, whatever.
So then what are the terms we should use for them?
You use for whom?
So a person who's saying and verbally all the news, and the one who's writing and
Okay, so somebody who's reading out the news is a news anchor. Somebody who's going out reporting the issues and going out on beats and going out in the world to gather news is a reporter. And somebody so it's different actually. So how it works in a in electronic media and how it works in print media are two different sort of slightly different ways and the flow. So somebody who's in television and is behind the camera writing the news is a producer. So a producer is responsible for making the news into a package, and the package means that you need to put visuals, and then you need to put a VO, and then you need to like render it all and make it in a way that it is totally ready to be aired. So that is a producer. And then the person who's presenting the package and reading out on camera is a news anchor. So that is how it works. Then there are editors, and then there are several other people who keep an eye on what is going out and what has to be reported and what has to be covered and not, like that.
So what roles have you played? Like, you know?
Okay, so my first job was with Times of India and Lucknow edition, and I was there for like almost 4 years. So there's something about like being a journalist. It is sort of difficult to break into like big brands, sort of Times of India, because there's always very limited number of vacancies in the editorials. Say the Lucknow edition had 30 people in the editorial and 15 reporters and the rest on desk. So I was there in Times of India for 4 years. So I started off as a contributor. Then I worked my way up as a stringer. Then I worked as a trainee, and then finally I was taken in the organization as a full-time employee, and it all took me like 3 years to break into the system and like to be a full-time employee at BCCL. So that time I was a reporter. I was a city reporter, and I had my beats were Lucknow Municipal Corporation and culture and community. So for your understanding, beats are like verticals, that so every reporter is given a beat, and then they're supposed to keep track of all the news in that particular beat. So like mine was civic beat, so I used to look after municipal corporation and all the civic issues that used to happen around. And so I worked there as a reporter, and then I have also worked as a producer in so at Z. After Times of India, I moved on to Z Business, and I was a news anchor there. And I used to do a weekend show called the Mobile and Gadgets Show. So I used to write the script, the news for it, and then I used to read it out. So I was like a anchor producer. And then I worked as an anchor producer at CNN, and there also I was like scripting the news and sitting with the editor producing the package. And I did not face the camera there, so I was just a producer there. And then I was at Hindustan Times, so I was working as a deskie. So deskie is basically somebody who works at the desk and makes the page and edits all the reporter copies and all that. So I was desky there, and then I moved on to this magazine, and I am a correspondent now for the India edition, because the magazine goes out in 30 countries, and I work for its India edition. So I'm a correspondent there now. I'm a Delhi correspondent basically. My team sits in Bombay, and I'm their only Delhi person. So whatever is happening in Delhi in terms of events and launch events and media briefings and meetings, so I'm the one to move around, and that is why I'm a correspondent. Correspondents are reporters only, in a way.
So, like, what are the
Yeah.
biggest challenges of this profession? And, like, what was the biggest challenges you faced?
So challenges, okay, so the biggest challenge is that this profession is like really demanding in terms of asking from you, okay? It's not a 9 to 5 job. Don't expect yourself to be working for like just given hours. You have to be on your toes. So when I was working in Times of India, the day started at 12 o'clock. The meeting used to happen at 12 o'clock, and then the edition used to go for print at 1 o'clock in the night. So there were days when I used to come back home at 12 in the night after leaving at 12 in the morning. Okay. So it was like total 10 hour, 12-hour work day. And you can't escape that if you're a journalist, because whatever news you have gathered has to go today only, otherwise tomorrow it won't be a news, it will just be a piece of information. Okay, because news is very timed, very dated. Okay, so if something is happening today, you have to report it today, you have to write it today, and you have to be there working until unless your piece, your news is gone like totally. So it's a very demanding profession. And as I told you in the beginning, the money is not very good. Journalists are not paid very well. Journalists are mostly paid in peanuts, to put it in a better way. But yeah, after some time, like after the initial 4 or 5 years, things change. Actually, journalists are given a lot of importance. So they say a lot of glamour comes in when you're a journalist. Okay. So you're given a lot of importance at places. All the officials will be. So I have only worked with big names, okay, like Times of India, Hindustan Times, and even for people who are like who don't like work for such huge organizations, they're given a lot of importance because whatever they're going to say, people are going to hear. So officials and brands and a lot of like all everybody give a lot of importance to everybody gives a lot of importance to journalists, because they are going to put forth their words. So if they don't like behave in a nice manner, so there is always a chance that the journalist will not probably put it just a different swing to it, or in that way. So a lot of importance comes in, a lot of glamour comes in, that is all there. But the fact remains that you really have to work very, very hard to sustain in this profession. And one big challenge for me was so this sort of quite a funny story. I completed my graduation and I was like what 19, 20 years old that time. And then I started working with then I started interning with Lucknow Times. Okay, so Lucknow Times is like the page three sort of beat. And it was like all soft and really nice and sophisticated, and all the events used to happen at Sangeet Natak Academy, or whatever plays and exhibitions and this that. And then suddenly I shifted. It was my own wish to shift to the main paper, because there was like more there were chances of more serious news coverage there. So I shifted to the main paper, and then my editor gave me the Lucknow Municipal Corporation beat. And so Lucknow Municipal Corporation is basically Nagar Nigam. So it was really challenging for me to go to Nagar Nigam and talk to people, because I was like young and naive, and I used to talk a certain way. And because I come from a convent school, so I used to talk a certain way, and I was not very adept with their ways, and basically their way of conversation and their way of dealing things and doing things. So it was really difficult for me to like navigate there at municipal corporation. But yeah, God was kind, so I kept on doing it, never gave up. Handled that beat for 4 years, and then till the time I was leaving Times of India. After 4 years, my news were like really talked about. I did some really nice page one stories about the city cows and the dustbins, and the lack of dustbins, and the lack of toilets, and this that in Lucknow. So yeah, it was difficult, but it was fun. I have always liked being a journalist, so it was not ever very difficult for me.
As you mentioned, the money they pay is like peanuts. So, like, what do you think is the
Yeah.
biggest motivation of people being journalists? Because there's so many journalists. It's not like there are only like hardly some journalists. No, right? And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
like does not pay very well, what's the biggest motivation according to you?
So, my biggest motivation was the bylines. So the byline is when you report a news, your name goes into print. So every morning when I used to see Vidita Chandra in that city edition of Times of India, it was like my biggest driving force. And till today, when I see my name in the magazine under some review and it says Vidita Chandra, then I just feel very accomplished because money is only a part of, like, money comes in and then we spend it, right? It's not going to stay with us forever, but the name in print stays forever. So I have like a big bundle of newspapers, like over like 1,000, 1,500 newspapers. I've kept them all that have my name as author in the news. So that's my biggest driving force. And like, being a journalist is good. Actually, you need to like, you get to write and you get to put out opinions and you get to talk to people, you get to gather so many opinions, you get to have a word on issues, and your words are taken very seriously. It's not that if you're talking to somebody and if you're saying something, that they give due importance to your word because of the fact that you are a journalist. So that importance is definitely there. And I'm sure the journalists that there are like fully motivated, otherwise they wouldn't have been in the profession. Because a lot of my friends have shifted to PR and advertising because that's more giving. But the people that there are like quite satisfied. Like, I am very satisfied being a journalist. A lot of opportunities have come in where people have told me to shift to corporate communication and PR, but I don't think that I my heart would be full with that sort of money and less importance sort of thing.
Like you derive happiness from journalism, right?
Yeah, I love to see my name in print. That gives me like joy, like that keeps me happy the entire day. And the feeling hasn't changed in like 10 years. It has been 8 years that I worked in Times of India, and my I used to get my bylines in print, and today I get my byline in the magazine, and the joy is same. So I don't think that it is going to get over anytime soon, or probably ever.
So, what was your parents' reaction when you told them, like, I am a journalist?
Uh, so before telling them that I want to be a journalist, I told them that I want to be a lawyer. And so at that, their reaction was like, support. My parents have always been supportive, but they told me that it requires a lot of studying, and it requires a lot of time with the books for you to become a lawyer. And then even after that, you will have to study a lot, and you'll have to spend a lot of time with the books, and you know uh, be in the books. So I they told me that they don't think that I'll be able to study that much. And then I was convinced by that logic, and I just dropped that plan of being a lawyer or even applying for CLAT or even appearing for the exam. Then eventually I told them that I want to be a journalist. Then I told them that I want to be an air hostess. And then they told me that, it's not a very respectable profession. Maybe at that time, they thought in a different way. And then they told me that, and then eventually I told them I want to be a journalist, and then they were like, okay, I think this is what she can do, because she can talk to people, and it doesn't require a lot of hard work in terms of studying and in terms of completing the degree. So they were like supportive, and it went through quite smoothly. Actually, no big obstacle came in. God was kind.
Last question. How
Okay.
important is it to know English in this field?
To know English? um Not very. You can be like a Hindi journalist, or you can be a journalist in any regional language. Not necessarily you have to, like, know English or like be an English journalist. So the state of affair for Hindi journalists are not as good as for those in English organizations. But yeah, it's language isn't like a limitation if you want to be a journalist. You can like very well work with Dainik Jagran or Amar Ujala and NBT and be as respected as somebody who's working in Hindustan Times or like Times of India. So it's only as much as you perceive it.
So that's the end of the second session as well as the video. It was great connecting with you, learning about a new profession. And the quote of the day is money comes and goes, but happiness stays forever. So this quote is inspired by Vidita Chandra's lines in the interview. Thank you, ma'am. Any closing statements?
I want a lot of people to actually, come into journalism. A lot of young minds, young kids should be excited about being a journalist and, leaving their impact on people. And, I want that to happen. However, think like very well, think thoroughly before choosing it as a profession. But yeah, it's like a pretty decent, fulfilling profession. It has turned out like that for me at least.
Thank you. This is your friend Tarushika signing off.
Thank you. Bye bye.